Welcome to Traveling Home Yoga. My name is Leah, and today we're going to be focusing on the foundations of the body, our feet, our legs, and our hips. So roll out your mat and let's begin. Today I'd like us to begin in child's pose. So if you could come to your mat on your knees, opening your knees a little bit wider than your hips, bringing your big toes to touch, and then we'll sit back onto the heels and come down. If you'd like, you can be on the forearms. You can cross the forearms to let your forehead rest on your forearms. You might take a block, a bolster, or maybe just a pillow off your couch if you're at home to give you some added support to let your forehead rest on that. However you can find a way to feel most comfortable. This isn't always the easiest position to begin our practice in. Sometimes we can feel quite tight in the hips as we start here. So allowing yourself the grace to get as comfortable as you can, even if you feel like this is a limited movement or a limited position for you to be in. And then allow yourself just to come into your breath. For a moment here, just noticing your inhales and your exhales. Can you feel the expansion of the belly reaching towards your mat, towards the floor? Can you feel that expansion of the rib cage, the chest? Exhale all the air out. Pull the belly button to the spine. And notice if on those exhales, you can allow yourself to sit a little bit deeper. It might feel like only the tiniest little micro movement to bring your hips back towards the heels. And just notice where you might be restricting or tensing up through the knees, through the hips. Can you soften in those spaces so it allows your body to sink deeper towards the earth? It's almost as if gravity is doing the work for you. You're not forcing yourself down. Continuing to breathe here and focusing on this idea of being grounded. As we focus on the foundation of the body today, let that be our intention, to feel grounded and secure. We don't build a house on shaky ground, on a weak foundation. And so it's important for us to remember the foundations of our practice, coming back to the basics and coming back to the part of our body physically that carries us from the past to the present into the future. Our feet, our legs, the muscles in and through the hips are the things that get activated to carry us in a forward movement. And coincidentally, those are also the muscles that get activated when we're experiencing any kind of stress, fight or flight. To take our body to safety, these muscles through the hips are activated. And so even though we might not be in any physical danger, anytime that you're dealing with stress, these muscles get activated. And so many people complain of having tight hips or a tight lower back. And so we're going to see, or even sciatic nerve discomfort. And so we're going to see if we can focus on those areas of the body today to relieve some of that stress and tension. Let's take another big deep breath here. And then I want you to start to lift your forehead off the ground, the block, your forearms, wherever it's at. Extend your arms out in front of you. Lift your elbows off the ground. So we're in a little bit more of an active, lifted child's pose position. Start to sway your hips side to side. So you're really kind of getting into the hips and letting the torso kind of sway side to side here. You can go as fast or as slow as you want to, but again, just sort of noticing how it feels through the lower half of the body. And we'll take this all the way over to the right. Walk your hands off of your mat onto the ground next to you, and then start to pull your left sit bone deeper back towards your heel, and just kind of deepen that stretch to the left side of the body here. Let's take another breath like this, inhaling completely and exhaling completely, and then we'll take it to the other side, all the way over, off the mat, onto the ground next to you there. Can you slide that right sit bone deeper back towards your heel? Can you deepen that stretch through the side from the hip all the way to the shoulder out to the fingertips? Let's take it back through center again, this time sliding the left hand right in front of the left knee. So we're not crossing anything over, we're just bringing it right in front of the left knee, and then allow yourself to twist towards that left side. So you're looking up and over your left shoulder, and this is just getting into the shoulder for a moment, the right shoulder, the right armpit even, but staying in that child's pose. Let's come back through center, switch sides, pull the right hand in front of the right knee, twist to your right, look up beyond the right shoulder here. Little rotation for the rib cage, little stretch for that left side shoulder, armpit area. Take a breath. Come back through center, and we're going to press ourselves all the way up. Let's walk the knees closer in here and come up so that we can tuck the toes under, and now sit back onto your heels with the toes tucked. So we don't often do a lot of things that give a lot of attention or love to the feet, but we're going to focus on that today, because everything's interconnected. If you feel like you have tightness in your hips or injuries in your knees, oftentimes those can be coming from other parts of the body. They could be an injury in the hip that's causing the pain in the knee, or something in your foot or ankle that's causing the pain in the knee or the hip. And so we have to become aware of the interconnectedness of every single part of the body. And so we're going to focus on a lot of the lower body movements today, not just singling out one space, but the entirety of the hip all the way down to the foot. And when we focus on this idea of grounding in the context of our energy and the root chakra, all of this is connected, right? Your sciatic nerve, which is the largest peripheral nerve in your body, and it's about as thick as your thumb, it runs from the base of your spine all the way down through your feet and then spreads out through the feet. Almost looks like the roots of a tree. So thinking about tending to our own root system. As you're sitting here, you might feel a lot of intensity through the toes, through the arches of the feet, but can you give that same sort of focus that you would if you were in any other posture that's where there's a lot of intensity or discomfort that you experience? Can you be the observer? Can you allow yourself to breathe through this discomfort, creating space through the toes, space through the arches? We're not going to stay here forever. Let's see if we can just take one more big deep breath together, not fighting against the discomfort, but breathing into it. Let's come up onto all fours. Release that tension through the feet. So now you want to maybe like squeeze the toes, stretch out the feet, circle the ankles around, or maybe even pitter-patter the feet to the top of the mat. Kind of getting that blood flowing back into the feet here for a moment. Beautiful. From all fours, let's let the belly drop. Inhale, gaze comes up. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin to your chest. So just moving through a few of these cat-cows, starting to mobilize the spine here for a moment. Just because we're focusing on the lower half of the body doesn't mean we're ignoring everything else. Like I said, it's all interconnected. Let's take 3 more breaths like this. And the next time that we finish this cycle, let's come back through center, neutral spine. Step the right leg back, tuck the toes under, press back through the heel, and let your body rock forward and back. So again, kind of getting into the feet and the ankles, maybe now feeling it through the calf, into the back of the leg. Let's press back and push into that right foot to lift the left kneecap off the floor for a moment. So getting that stretch through the back of the foot, the ankle, the calf, but then strengthening the upper body at the same time. Pull that knee up in towards the heart and tap the knee down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift the right leg up off the ground. Bend the knee and flex the foot. Press the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Now don't arch the back too much. Pull the belly in and up, engaging through the core, and then keeping the heel lifted so you really feel yourself firing up the back of the legs and the glutes on that right side. Hold it here for a moment, just finding some stillness, some steadiness. And then we're just going to straighten the leg and bend. Straighten the leg and bend, keeping that leg lifted, knee in line with the hip. And again, you're really feeling that engagement through the hamstrings, through the glutes. Breathe into that space. Okay, one more time. Straighten and bend. Hold it here. Little pulses that press the foot to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it out to the side. Dog next to a tree or fire hydrant shape. Can you keep that knee lifted and the weight evenly distributed through the palms? Now bring the knee forward to kiss the back of the right elbow or tricep through center and around. Just waking up that right hip, moving that femur around in that hip socket. Maybe hearing some creaking and some cracking, but just noticing that. Can we smooth it out? Can we create some space? We'll bring that right leg forward. We're going to step the foot up between the hands. Come onto the tips of your fingers. If you have blocks here that you need to give yourself a little bit more height, you can come up onto the blocks for that support as well. Let's drive the hips all the way forward here. Notice, is your knee coming beyond your ankle and all the way beyond your toes? If so, can you wiggle that front foot forward? And then it's okay if the knee comes in front of the ankle, but not beyond the toes here, just to give us a little bit more support. And then once you're there, breathing into the front of that left hip flexor, can you also press into the top of the left foot? Lift your left kneecap off the ground. Little stretch here for the quad, but also maybe feeling it down through the ankle. Breath in and breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Let's take another breath. Soften the left knee down to the ground. Walk it all the way back, straight in the front leg. Let's rock forward and back. Inhaling, taking us forward into the lunge. Exhaling into the half split. Breathing into the different parts of that right leg, from the heel all the way up to the glutes. Breathing into the front of that left hip flexor as you come forward. Just finding some movement as we floss through the hips to kind of wake everything up. The next time we come forward, stay here. Both hands come to the inside of the right leg. Cross the left foot over to the right side of your mat so that the outside edge of your left calf is parallel to the short edge of your mat. You want to make sure that it's evenly across, because if it's on an angle like this or even the other way, you could tweak the knee, okay? So make sure that it's kind of really nice supported position here. We're going to walk our hands out to the left off of your mat, and then let your hips kind of sink back. So you're really kind of getting into that right hip and groin area. Upper body can melt towards the floor, almost back into that child's pose-like shape. Breathe for a moment. Let's walk the hands back towards that right foot. Sweep your left arm up. Kneeling extended side angle pose. So you can be all the way up onto the right elbow, onto the knee, or hand to the ground if you like that little bit of a lower shape. You can take the left arm up and overhead here, bicep kind of framing the ear, lengthening through that left side. Good. Let's see if we can kind of pulse into that right leg a few times. Again, just kind of getting into the hips, really strengthening through the hips here, but also stretching through the hips as well. Okay, bring both hands to the ground. You're going to walk it back and sit down onto the ground. Sole of your left foot rests on the inside of the right thigh. Let's sweep our arms up. Take a big inhale as we lift. Exhale, reaching beyond your right toes. Inhales take us high to the ceiling. Exhale, reach beyond the toes. Let's try that again. Inhale up. Exhale and reach. Hold it here. Let your hands rest alongside the leg. Grab the foot or ankle if that's what you can reach for. Feel like you're pulling your heart towards your toes, not the top of your head, so you're not rounding the spine. Keep the spine nice and long and breathe. Breath in and breath out. Again, not pushing ourselves, but just observing the sensations that we're experiencing here. Let's take another breath here, folding over this straight leg. And then we'll release it. Sit up nice and tall, arms go up. Exhale, drop the left hand behind. Right hand crosses the outside of the left knee. So we come into a twist, turning towards that bent leg. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhaling as we twist. Let's keep our left hand on the ground where it is. Bring the right hand back around to meet it. Turn your fingertips to face your hips. We'll straighten out our left leg. So we're just in a nice seated position with support of the hands behind us. Let's press the soles of the feet to the ground so we can lift ourselves up into a reverse plank pose. Roll the shoulders back, gaze up to the ceiling here. Right? Strengthening the muscles of the back body as we lift, engaging the core. Inhale through your nose, open your mouth, stick out your tongue, exhale, let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. One last time. Dropping those hips back down. Let's keep the hands where they are. Lift your right leg up off the ground and we're going to circle it. Doesn't matter which direction you go. We'll choose the direction that naturally feels more dominant to you. We're going to do both directions anyway. Right? So trying to see if you can create a nice big circle, pointing the toes, pulling that knee all the way in, make that circle as big as you can. I always think of like the size of like a large pizza, and really try to make that movement fluid. Let's change the direction, take it around the other way. Good. Extend the right leg out, drop it down, and we'll switch sides. Left leg lifts this time. Do the same thing. Circle around. Doesn't matter which direction you go to start. Maybe again, there's some creaking and cracking in the hips. Can we find that fluidity in the movement that creates some mobility and space here? Okay, let's change directions around the other way. Breathing. Good. Extend that leg all the way back out here. Take a breath, just resting for a moment. We're going to bring the feet together and lift both legs off the ground. Supported boat pose here. Now, same thing. We're making circles, but doing it with the feet together. So it doesn't matter what direction you start. Go around to one side, straighten out, pull it around the other way. Kind of almost lowering into like a low boat as the legs are extended, and a high boat as you pull the knees in. Really feeling the core shake, feeling the hip flexors shake. Now pull the knees in, change direction. If you need to take breaks, you can drop the feet, take breaks for a moment, come right back into it. Sometimes what we think is that we need more flexibility in the hips. What we actually need is more strength. So we're building that strength here together. One more rotation. Good. Pull the knees in, drop the feet. Let's wrap our hands around our shins for a moment. Let your head be heavy. Total relaxation. Let's drop the hands back behind us and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. So you can widen the feet to the edges of your mat if that helps. Give you more space to drop your knees towards the ground. Oh, that was my hip that cracked. Awesome. Okay, one more time on each side. And we'll bring the knees back up. Let's swing the legs around, come back up onto all fours, tabletop position. Left leg goes back this time, tuck those toes under. Do the same thing, kind of rock forward and back, stretching through the ankle, the arches of the foot, the toes, the calf. Press all the way back into that left heel. Hold it here. Find the strength to pull the right knee up in towards the heart. You can stay here or we can tap it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that knee right back down. Left leg lifts up off the ground. Bend the knee and flex the foot. Now try not to let the back arch here and belly drop towards the floor, but instead pull the belly button to the spine, engaging the core nice and strong, creating that stability, building that foundation, feeling the connection of the hands on the right knee to the floor to keep you steady, and we'll straighten the leg and bend. Just a little movement here. Again, the back stays still, just the leg moves, but you really feel that engagement of the hamstrings and the glutes. One more time. And bend. Let's hold it here. And again, the back is still, only the leg moves as we pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the knee out to the side, dog next to a tree or fire hydrant shape. Feel those legs burn, feel those hips burn, fire them up. Take it forward, kiss the back of the elbow through center and around, lubricating that left hip joint. Let's step that left foot up between our hands. Find that low lunge on this side. Walk your fingers forward, let your hips drop forward. Find that stable foundation with the left foot. Back toes are untucked, but we're lifting that kneecap off the floor. Stretch to that right quad. Stretch through that right hip flexor. It's a tongue twister. Take another breath. Soften it down. Inhale into your lunge. Exhale into your half split, and we'll move with the breath as we go forward and back at your own pace. Let your own breath be your guide here. Exploring the legs, the hips, the feet, the ankles. How does it feel? Okay, come back forward, both hands to the inside of the left foot. Right foot crosses over to the left side. And again, you're going to walk yourself out on an angle towards the upper right corner of the mat, and then sink those hips back. Plug your fingers into the earth. Let the heart melt towards the ground. Let the head be heavy even. This is really about getting into the hips and the legs. Take it back over towards that left foot. Sweep your right arm up and overhead. Kneeling, extended side angle. Roll the right shoulder back, and you really want to be using the leverage of that left elbow on the inside of the left knee to press the knee away to help you draw the right shoulder back to keep the heart and chest open. Let's bring the left elbow on top of the left knee if it's not there already, and pulse into that left leg, getting into the hips. Bring the hands to the ground, walk it back, sit down onto your butt, bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of the left leg. All right, turn your body over that straight leg and the arms are going up. Exhales as we hinge, reach beyond the toes for 3, 2, coming down on the exhale, lifting on the inhale, last one. Hold it here, drop the hands, or maybe grab the foot or ankle, feel the upper body pull down, heart towards the toes. Spine is lengthening as we hinge from the hips. Okay, gently release it. Right arms come all the way up. Right hand drops behind you, left hand grabs the outside of the right knee, and we take that same twist. Lengthen the spine on the inhales, twist on the exhales. Use the leverage of that left hand grabbing the right knee to help facilitate that twist. Maybe you're gazing back beyond your right shoulder. Right hand stays where it is, left hand comes back to meet it. Turn your fingertips to face your hips, straighten out the legs. So this time we're gonna reset, rather than the reverse plank, we're gonna do a reverse tabletop. So you'll bend your knees, place your feet flat on the ground, and then lift yourself up. Roll the shoulders back. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the legs, feeling the openness to the front body, the openness to the front of the hips. And then take an inhale through your nose, open your mouth, stick out your tongue, let it go. 2 more lion's breath like that. Inhale. Exhale, release it. Again. Awesome. Let's drop our hips all the way down. We're going to cross our right ankle over top of our left knee. And then maybe you want to come onto the tips of your fingers as you push your chest towards the legs here. Chest and belly towards that little triangle in between the legs here. You can kind of rock a little side to side. you can keep it nice and still, just focusing on the breath. We're in this sort of kind of like seated figure 4 type shape. So really, again, focusing on that stretch to the hips. Let's release it and we'll switch sides. I'm going to lean back a little bit to create the space to bring that left ankle over top of the right and then sit up nice and tall. Walk the hands closer in, come onto the tips of the fingers, press the chest and belly towards that triangle between the legs. Try to keep the feet flexed, the left foot flexed, but relaxing through the hips. Breathe into it. Maybe there's movement, maybe there's rocking side to side. It's up to you. And we will release, uncross the legs. Separate your feet to the edges of your mat. Turn your hands back, fingers pointing towards the hips. You're going to let your knees drop over to your right, to your left, then up again and to the right, then up again and to the left. Let's stay here. Turn your left hand to face the back of your mat. Reach your right arm overhead. Little side body stretch. This might be enough for you, or you want to press into your knees, lift your hips up off the ground and lean back. Roll the shoulder back. Let's do the other side. Drop the hips down, bring the knees up and over to the right, turn the right fingertips to face the back of the mat, lengthen through the left side body, stay here or lift. You choose. Let the head go back, let that left shoulder roll back if you're lifted. Dropping it back down, bringing the legs back up. Let's straighten out the legs again. Remove the flesh from the sit bones. Sit up nice and tall. Arms go up. Big inhale as we lift. Exhale, seated forward fold. Grab the feet, the ankles, whatever we can hold on to here. And again, you're pulling your heart towards your toes. Nice big stretch for the back of the legs from the heels all the way to the glutes, but also for that low back. So being really gentle with yourself here, especially if you have any issues with the lumbar spine. Not forcing it, but allowing your breath to guide you. Let's release. We're going to come all the way back. Take a nice big full body stretch. Take a moment here to circle the ankles around, circle the wrists around. Let's hug the knees into the chest, rocking side to side, massaging your back into your mat here. We'll hug only the right leg in as we extend the left leg all the way out. You can keep that rocking motion going. So we're not only massaging the back now, but we're also continuing to open through the hips. And eventually taking that into a twist. So pulling that right knee across the body, using your left hand. Let your right arm fall open to the side here. Maybe you gaze over that right shoulder. Inhaling completely. Exhaling as we sink deeper. Slowly bringing our knees back up. Let's bring both knees back in for a moment. And we'll switch sides. Hug only the left leg in. Extend the right leg out. Rocking side to side. Massage the back. Open up the hips. Let that rocking motion take you to a twist. Pull the left knee across the body. Left arm falls open. Gaze over the left shoulder. Slowly coming back. Let's place both feet flat, knees bent, arms alongside the body as we come up into bridge pose. Last little engagement of those hamstrings and glutes. Maybe you want to interlace the fingers underneath the lower back. Shimmy a little more to the outer edges of the arms or the shoulders as we lift to the front body. Breathe. And release it as we come back down. Hug the knees in, reach in between the legs, grab onto the soles of the feet. Happy baby pose. You can bend and straighten the legs if you want to. When you feel ready to release it, we'll let ourselves come into Shavasana, taking these last few moments for our body to integrate all the movement that we just did. As we come into stillness, let your whole body just sink into the ground. Feeling supported, feeling at ease. You can always have the knees slightly bent with a pillow or some kind of support system underneath the knees to relieve any more tension through the lower back. And then once you're settled, just even allowing the breath to be totally relaxed without thinking about the inhales and the exhales any longer. Just let that go too. You're nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. Starting to slowly deepen the breath. Finding movement that brings your awareness back to your body. You can take a full body stretch, or maybe even roll to one side. Or we can rise to final seat to close out our practice together. Inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. Exhale, draw the hands down into prayer at the heart, bowing our heads as we close our eyes. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.